Sooner Scoop HD.
Radosevich here in Fremont, Nebraska with Oklahoma's sixth commitment in the 2023 class, Kade McIntyre. Kade, I guess it's kind of come all together. Luckily, we're able to get up here today because Oklahoma's playing over in Omaha in the College World Series. But first off, congratulations on the commitment. What has the recruitment been like coming from Fremont and a little bit of a smaller school here?
Honestly, at first it was kind of like a smaller recruiting thing, probably like my brother had to, but not many schools, little smaller schools, and then just kind of hit a turning point, started getting some offers, and once you get a little bit of, I think say K-State was probably my bigger one, and then after that it just kind of kept rolling and rolling. It's like 2 months, like the last 2 months of my spring were just insane with offers and kind of interest blowing up, but then Oklahoma ended up being my last one, and that's the place I wanted to be, so that's how it kind of went.
No doubt. With your brother going through it, I'm sure that he was able to give you some tips and kind of give you an idea of what to expect once everything started rolling down the hill. And I'm sure that once your junior tape got out, it really started to blossom.
Yeah, the junior tape was huge. Not a lot of schools, actually, I kind of realized you send out film and stuff like that, but you're lucky if they actually watch it and kind of get to see it, so you really have to have some good, people kind of looking out for you and saying, you need to watch this kid. But my brother was really able to help me, through example more, I'd say. Not necessarily telling me things, but I was able to kind of go on visits and kind of watch him do his little thing with coaches and talk to him and see what I want in a college and what I don't want. And so that was kind of the best way he's able to help me through example.
No doubt. Here coming up, I guess here over the last couple of weeks, obviously you took the visit to Norman. Things obviously went really well. I guess, being from Nebraska, you're only a couple states away. It's not that far of a drive. I'm an idiot, and I made it. But, what was it about getting to Norman, finally meeting the coaching staff, and then we'll go from there with the coaches and stuff like that?
I mean, honestly, it was just going down there. I was excited to go down there anyways. I was like, this is going to be awesome, I already know. But talking to Venables and all the coaching staff, it was just an insane group of people that were really excited and motivated for the program and really making something great of it and being new people there, and also how much success you're going to see come out of that place just because of how welly the people are and the great people from top to bottom, but also how motivated and into their job they are.
What players were you able to hang out with while you were in Norman?
So I hung out, my host was Danny, so I hung out with him and kind of went out to dinner with him and stuff, and hung out what is a little place he has out there, so we got to sit in there for a little bit, but just a couple guys.
It seems like Danny Stutzman, if you're going to be walking around with anybody in Norman right now, he's probably one of the more popular guys to walk around with.
Yeah, for sure. He's a really cool dude. He has his car, his little Charger that's nice, so nice, and he's just asking me questions well, what do you drive? I'm like, I drive a Ram 1500 that was $750 when we first got it. I'm like, dude, I got nothing this nice. Right. But it was a cool dude.
No doubt. I think it's kind of interesting, too, because they're selling kind of a new program. Obviously, Oklahoma's had a lot of success over the last couple of years, or, the last 20 years since Bob Stoops, kind of rebuilt the program. But Brent has a little bit of a newer idea as far as new ideas into the program. He's very passionate when he's selling that. What was that like, kind of getting that pitch and really kind of selling a program that they haven't won any under him yet, obviously because the season hasn't started, but what is that new, idea that he's trying to sell right now?
I mean, honestly, it's just kind of with him, it's the personal relationships and just leading a group of dudes to be fully into and motivated into what they're their craft. And he's really into it, and I think it leads a lot of the guys to really be into what they're doing and bringing the full potential out of it. And I just know that's going to be some booming success out of that program just with what he's doing.
When you made your announcement, you tagged both Coach Finley and Coach Roof. I know that there's going to be a lot of discussion here over the next year or so about where's he going to play? Where's Kade going to be in Norman? I guess, is there a preference? And I guess each one of them, Coach Finley and Coach Roof, kind of what was their idea or what was their sell on, what they see you as when you get to Norman?
Honestly, we talked about it, and I was supposed to have a meeting with Roof, but Joe John kind of stole me from him and kind of had me do meetings with him that day. So I didn't get to meet with Roof and kind of see what he was looking for. But so I think possibly they're going to be starting me at tight end. I think that's their best feel. But wherever I land, I'm going to be excited. Just so I know they're going to make me the best player I can be. I've always kind of like preached the idea of they've been in the business and the program for way longer than a high school kid has. So I don't know how I'm going to tell them where I see myself when they've seen dudes just like me turn out and be something great where they're at. So that's just kind of my preference, is wherever they see me best thriving. But yeah.
There's something about Nebraska kids and Coach Finley with Caden Helms going to Oklahoma this year. Have you talked to him? Have you had any relationship with him? And just as far as making the short trip to, or the drive down to Norman
With Joe John?
With Caden or Joe John?
Caden, I talked to him a little bit through Instagram, things like that,
Sure.
kind of do the visit. I haven't really gotten like a meet him or personal relationship with him before, but Joe John, got to get in the meeting with him and really talk to him and kind of I met his wife and stuff, and got to see his, send me a little FaceTime with his kids the first time I talked to him. So really personal, and something I really loved, and he's just a really good dude.
Joe John's one of those guys that obviously has been with the program for a while now, getting held over with Brent, but he's also played at Oklahoma. It would seem like that's an easy sell for him, to be so familiar with the program, to be able to tell you kind of his personal experience as a tight end at Oklahoma.
One of the biggest things was not only him being at Oklahoma, but then becoming an NFL tight end. Mm-hmm. And so having a coach that's that position he's working at as tight end, and then also being able to go to the NFL and be a player that went to the NFL. So he can really help me out with me wanting to go to the NFL and things like that and being my biggest goals. So, I mean, that was just kind of stuck out to me a whole bunch, with him being Oklahoma Sooner, not like just that, and then going to the NFL and being able to pave the way for me kind of.
One of the big, talking points about Oklahoma and commitments and Coach Venables has been, I don't want to say necessarily their rule as far as visits and what you do from here on out, but what are your plans from here on out? I mean, is it basically shut down and you're committed to Oklahoma and it's going to be all there?
It's shut down. I talked to Coach, and then I FaceTimed Venables actually for my commitment, and he goes, "Kid, you're telling me you're marrying me right now." He said yes, so you can't go visiting and things like that. I go, "Coach, don't worry about that. I already canceled all those before I got on the phone with you and things like that." So really it was just I'm committed to Oklahoma, and all I'm going to be doing this summer is working for the senior season and being a Sooner.
Are you much of a recruiter now? Will you start reaching out to kids? You're kind of at the foundation of this 2023 class. Obviously, Jackson does quite a bit, who's going to be your quarterback when you get down there. But have you been able to talk to any of those guys? What are your plans as far as involvement as far as recruiting for Oklahoma now?
As of right now, I haven't been able to kind of get deep into that. I think the only thing I've really done is tweeted, said a little message on Malachi Coleman's visit down there. Is you know the move. So that's just kind of all I've done right now. But possibly if I get more in touch with those guys, I could really kind of.
It always seems like there's some guys that love the idea of being able to be a recruiter for the class, and then there's some guys that just want to, almost let other guys kind of make their own decisions and stuff. So, as far as your senior year coming up, it seems like you come from a pretty successful program, talking about semifinal run, and what are the goals, I guess, going into, obviously winning a state championship, I'm sure is right up there, but leadership, kind of filling that senior role that I'm sure that your brother probably helped you show.
Yeah, one of my biggest goals, obviously, state championship, but being able to kind of bring those guys along, and it's a new position I'm put in, because the team we had last year everyone was insane, and we had a lot of seniors we were losing this year, and so there'll be a lot of new guys stepping into new roles and really trying to fit some big shoes. So I'm glad I'm able to kind of take on that adversity and leadership role, because that's going to say a lot about me and how far I can help these guys develop and get them into the season.
No doubt about it. Well, Kade, we appreciate it. We won't tell anybody where I went, why I made you kind of wait around here, but we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us today. Kade McIntyre, Oklahoma 2023 commit.
Sooner Scoop HD.